The Super Bowl is one of the most viewed sporting events in the United States, and there are a lot of different reasons why people watch the Super Bowl outside of just the athletic achievement. There's a halftime show, but there's also the commercials. It's well known that putting an ad during the Super Bowl can be very pricey. In fact, according to The Hollywood Reporter, 30 seconds of ad time during the 2020 Super Bowl on Fox costs $5.6 million. Wow, if I'm spending that much money on 30 seconds, I gotta make sure that it's the best 30 seconds I can make like ever. And they were, folks, because each of the commercials shown at the Super Bowl was the greatest 30 seconds in commercial history. In fact, all of these commercials helped fight some type of injustice. They moved the conversation forward in some way and changed people's minds while subconsciously selling a product to viewers they didn't even know they wanted in the first place. Today we will be looking at 3 very special commercials that not only achieved those goals but also received critical acclaim, as exemplified by the like to dislike ratio in each one of these beautiful and amazing and brave commercials. First one being a secret deodorant commercial titled "The Secret Kicker Super Bowl ad, #Kick Inequality." That's great. Yeah. Woo. What's wrong? Why do you even care? This is such an accurate representation of how people in the stadium would react. They would totally ignore the fact that they just won the game with that field goal and just totally focus on the fact that the person who scored the field goal was a woman, because that is way more important than actually winning the game. That is totally how that would play out. In fact, I can tell from this sexist man's face, you can tell, look, he's like thinking like, yay, we won the game. Oh no, it's a woman, how dare she? Hey, misogynist Mike came around. Isn't that great to see? He and his wife look super happy right here. Not only them, but also everybody else in the stadium who I guess not only doesn't follow football or the teams they were watching, but they also didn't check the pregame roster to see who was on the team before they bought their tickets. Because, folks, that's how it works. Whenever you're following a team around and you pay hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars to go watch that team play in real life, in a huge stadium, in a nationally broadcast game, you just have no idea who's on the roster of that team. You don't even look it up. I mean, you have zero interest. All you care is that the team wins, and it doesn't matter who's on the team. Folks, I beg you to please ignore all the contradictions in this commercial. It's just amazing that Secret Deodorant was able to capture this reality and express something else that literally nobody has ever seen happen in their lives.
Secret. All strength, no sweat.
I think this is a terrific commercial because it's not exploitive in the least bit. It doesn't trivialize something that women actually experience in their lives. And it's totally not a brand trying to usurp a social message so they can sell you a product. Because there's nothing more disingenuous than a brand doing that. And Secret most definitely didn't do that here. Anyway, our next commercial doesn't have a social message, but it does literally everything we love to see in commercials. And by that, I mean a bunch of ad executives in some stuffy corporate office put together every single cool reference they could think of into 1 minute, which ended up creating a pretty cool 1 minute, because if there's anybody who knows what's cool, it's a bunch of ad executives in some stuffy corporate office.
America, how do you must?
This is how I must.
This is how we must.
This is how I must.
How do you must?
I must celery.
Ha 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 ha! Folks, this is the funniest commercial I have ever seen in my entire life. You also know it's funny when they use the guy who's known for being funny as Urkel to play himself, because apparently he's funnier as himself instead of Urkel, I guess.
I must pretzels.
Okay, boomer.
I guess Gen Z doesn't like pretzels. Is that what they're trying to tell us here? Because everybody was pretty much just saying must with whatever they dump it in, and then she was like, okay, boomer, about him putting a pretzel in the hummus. I mean, am I the only one who doesn't find that unusual? That this brother right here was putting a pretzel into hummus? It's actually delicious to eat pretzels with hummus. Am I really the odd man out here? I mean, to me, it's more unusual that she's dipping a carrot that still has a stem on it, apparently hasn't been peeled, into her hummus, and she's gonna take a bite out of that. Have you guys ever tried to take a bite out of a carrot like that? It's hard on your teeth. It's not easy.
Así es como yo más.
Ah, yes, as a Latino, I totally relate to this. Not only because she said it in Spanish, and I speak Portuguese because I'm from Brazil, but also because of the fact that she's just putting copious amounts of hot sauce into her hummus. Because that's what Latinos do. We just dump a ton of Tapatio into everything, folks. We can't eat anything without Tapatio, even if it's hot chocolate, even my water. I can't even have water without Tapatio nowadays. Oh yes, because every time I've let my dog just eat my pizza or my hummus, he hasn't had just massive diarrhea.
Musba.
This commercial is starting to feel like the 2018 Rewind.
Yeah.
It's rewind time.
It's just a cluster of things and people that are popular on the internet right now, and they're clearly trying to cash in and all this stuff. And good for them. That's why popular things exist, so they can be exploited to the point of exhaustion. Oh, Zach King. This is so great to watch, folks. It's like a who's who of who's popular right now on the internet. It's like watching the end credits in a movie where you just see people's name roll up and you're like, oh, I've heard that name before in some other movie that I watched.
And the winner is Scary Spicy.
Please stop. I can't take it. I'm laughing too much. These commercial jokes, folks, they're so funny. Oh, whew.
This is how we must.
And they went out with a bang by bringing back a 10-year-old meme. They had to make it brand friendly though. Look at the smiles on their faces as they flip that table. It just makes me feel so fuzzy inside. Which brings us to our final and perhaps the most amazing commercial in all of the Super Bowl, featuring none other than the brilliant, the raw comedic talent of Lilly Singh.
Is there enough space in space for women? Who wrote that? Are people really still asking that question?
Well, that's a great question because I have never in my entire life ever heard not one single person, not one soul, not even a whisper of a question like this.
Is there enough space in space for women?
Who could be asking this question but this commercial itself? In fact, I think that the only time I've ever heard that question being asked
Is there enough space in space for women?
was by you, Katie Couric. Also, haven't women been in space before? I mean, I just saw like last week that 2 women did a spacewalk.
Christina Cook and Jessica Meir are performing the world's first all-female spacewalk.
In fact, the first woman in space went up in 1963. The first American female astronaut went up into space in 1983. So that's a pretty weird question to be asking 37 years after the first American female to go into space and 57 years after the first female to ever go into space. It almost ignores the fact that all these women exist and went into space.
Operation Make Space for Women is ready for liftoff.
Folks, let me tell you something. This commercial is brilliant. It also addresses a lot of important questions like, why are they making women seem like they're incompetent when they go into space? I mean, just compare the faces that Busy Phillips and Lilly Singh are doing compared to the actual astronaut who's in this commercial. The astronaut in the back is super chill because she knows that she doesn't have to pretend like she's surprised by any of this because she went through years and years and years and years of training and she knows what to expect. So it wouldn't make sense for her to just be losing her mind like this after literally probably a decade of training just so she can go up into space, right? Because as far as I heard, astronauts have to train a lot just to get a chance to fly up there. But folks, fret not, because at the end of the day, this commercial reflects the truth. That's all you need to know. It does not at all inadvertently subvert its own message by making 2/3 of the women who are going up into space seem utterly incompetent at what they're doing.
Mission Control. Taraji P. Henson here.
We have the opposite of a problem.
There is so much space up here.
Well, I could have told you that.
I love it how the actual astronaut is just like so chill and just saying, you know what? I wonder if any of you have ever cracked a book in your life, because you seem to be completely consumed by the very ideas that you say you're trying to fight against.
When we make space for women, we make space for everyone. One tweet equals
$1 to girls who code.
Well, that's nice. That's the best part of the commercial so far. I'm glad that they're doing this.
What does this button do?
Eject.
And they ruined it. Folks, they weren't satisfied with just making women look utterly incompetent in space. They made it seem like women actually put the mission in danger, because literally after a decade of training, one of the women doesn't know what one of the buttons does on the spaceship, and yet they go and press it, ejecting herself and Lilly Singh from the space shuttle, effectively killing them. Because I guess that's how they want to promote women in space. You know it's a successful commercial when the humor absolutely upends the central message that you're trying to convey. Anyway, folks, it's always great to see amazing commercials that bring people together, that don't at all trivialize the experiences of people, that don't take a social message and try to use it for their selfish gain of selling a product. It's what America is all about. We have to sell stuff. And we don't care what we got to do to sell it to you. We will just keep on doing it until you buy it. So you better buy it, damn it. Anyway, friends, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. Every like will be another amazing commercial that is not exploitive at all, that's created just so you can buy stuff. Because that's what life is all about. It's about buying stuff, right? Tell me in the comments down below. What do you think? Check out these videos. They go too. Have an amazing day, defenders. All of all you. Peace.